Hello, everybody. Happy Friday to you. It is Fun Friday here on Project Joy Live, and it's going to be extra fun today because my bestie Danielle Valero is here. My girls are here, and we are going to give you all the tea, all the details that we experienced in 90s Con Hartford last month here in Hartford, Connecticut, or last weekend, excuse me, here in Hartford, Connecticut. And I'm excited to tell you all the details. Listen, I've got my jacket on. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. Are you guys ready for some joy this morning? Let me know as we have an all new episode of Project Joy Live starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Good morning and happy Friday to you. It is Friday, April 4th, 2025. Hope you all are doing well today. We're live all around the YouTube, the Facebook, the Instagram, all of that. So good morning, wherever you're joining us from. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and this is Project Joy Live. It's your triple shot of good vibes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at this 9 a.m. Eastern time hour. I'm very excited today because Danielle Valero is here and my daughters are here, Nina, Marjean, Jazzlyn, and Leah, and we are going to be dishing about 90s Con that we all experienced last weekend. It was a whole blast. It was a whole blast from the past, really. We saw a lot of celebrities. We got to talk to them. We got to take pictures. Some of them we got to hug. And we had a really great time. There was a lot of nostalgia, a lot of things going on. And so we're going to be covering all of that. But first, I want to bring Danielle on because we got to have our joy conversation before we start the fun. You guys ready? Here's Danielle. And it was the wrong button. See, this is what happens here on this show. That's right. I like our intro. Hold on. We're gonna do a little 90s throwback. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, so listen, that was the last time you're going to see it, and I wanted to make sure to play it this morning because we have an all new one coming up because I got some good video and stuff from 90s Con as well, and so I think have this whole idea, which I'm excited about. But good morning, Danielle. How are you and the chickens today?
Oh, just living the best life over here.
Oh, I love it.
Becoming a morning person, that's for sure.
I bet. There's that one comedian, Matthew. I can't think of his last name.
Oh, I love him. I know who you're talking
funny. About. And he always does like the farm chores in the morning, and I can't. He's so funny.
I love the way he talks to the animals. It's like his homies. Like,
yeah. Because listen, I really think that animals are aware of more than we think they are, and
absolutely.
So it's always funny to hear that. But anyway, we're gonna get into all the 90s stuff today from 90s Con. You guys came over to 90s Con on Sunday, which was the same schedule we had last year, and then I don't know what part of that was like, girl, you need to go do 3 days, but
I couldn't. I don't know. You guys are on another level. I could not have.
But I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm on that level. I think it was delusion. I really do, because I think I've lost my mind is what it is. But listen, before we get into that, we're gonna do our joy for station. Here we go. So, the question today that we're going to talk about is, what is a special tradition that you have that you love? And I wanted to ask this question because we're coming up to Easter, and a lot of people have special traditions that they have around that time. Anytime we get into around holiday season, and then there's things that have just sort of become what we do in our family that I think are becoming special traditions for us as well. Do you have any of those things that are top of mind for you? And of course, we want to hear from you guys, so comment down below as well.
Well, you brought up Easter, which is coming up. So the tradition growing up, that was a thing with my grandmother, and even as an adult with my own small children, we always got together with my brothers, and we would all go to Chowder Pot, which now has closed down recently. So that was sad. And I think this year I'm just gonna have all my kids, because I have adult children that don't live with me. Have them all come over and possibly invite my brothers, although one of them's not around right now. He's all the way in Arizona, and just have everybody get together and hopefully cook if my kitchen's done, because it's taking forever.
I know you guys have had that kitchen torn apart for a long time.
We're in month 8 right now.
Wow.
Yeah. It's been delay after delay after delay. So
that's a long time to be without a kitchen. But
no,
I mean, it's one of those things.
Crazy.
I feel like it's sort of like, it's a first world problem, but at the same time, it's really annoying. Like, because when you're used to something, I think that there's a lot of people that get into judgment when we're missing things like that. But it's like when you're used to something and then you don't have it anymore, that's a whole other. And
I love cooking.
Yeah,
I love cooking. Like, that's one of my biggest joys in life, is being able to cook for my family and friends and have people over and cook dinners like my grandmother did. My grandma's a little Italian lady who's always cooking in the kitchen. I learned from her. I learned from my dad, who was a chef. So I love to cook. Having my no kitchen is crazy. My fan just went on again.
See, guys, you don't even know behind the scene. We're being joined today by someone on the other side that keeps turning on Danielle's fan. I just want to tell you,
fan is rapidly going, like, full speed.
So funny. So, well, hello and welcome to the show. Wherever you are. I love it. Yeah, I think we do a lot of like the traditional. I love to cook as well, and I also love that now my older children are old enough to help with that. Sure, that also makes me happy, because there's a lot of us in this little house. So cooking for 7 used to be 8 is daunting. It's a party every time we eat,
Yeah.
And so I like that part. And then we do a lot of the traditional things for, like, we do the Easter baskets, we do the, stockings. I know you all do a lot of those, because I've seen, a lot of the pictures and stuff that you post as well. So I like the decorating aspect, but I also, you brought up something about like a tradition that you had, and like the restaurant is closed now. That's one of the things that's, I think, been the most challenging for me in my life, is traditions that we've had like that, but we can't fulfill them for whatever reason. The place might be closed, someone might not be around anymore. And that is sometimes challenging, to be like, do we continue this in a different way? Is that our sign to like stop doing it? How do you take it when you can't like fulfill something in the same way? Do you just say forget it, or do you try to come up with a new tradition?
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with a new tradition. This year's a little tricky because without a kitchen, and I've been thinking, oh, for sure it's going to be ready by Easter. Yeah. So my new thing was going to be like, I'm just going to cook, and then I'll figure it out after what I'm going to do moving forward. Because usually Easter's like the holiday I take a break from cooking, and somebody else cooks and cleans. instead of me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm going to have to rethink the whole Easter thing, maybe find a new restaurant, but it's hard. It's hard to like change it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, one of the traditions that, well, it's becoming a tradition is us going to 90s Con now. And so hopefully that will continue to be a tradition as long as they have something like that. There are a lot of conferences out there. But this is the only one that I have felt like I really need to go to this. So this is something that's just so me. And so we're going to talk about that with my girls coming up here in just a moment. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are spilling all the tea about 90s Con Hartford 2025. We'll be right back after this.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. It is Friday, April 4th, 2025. We're here with Danielle, Nina, Marjean, Jazzlyn, and Leah. We're telling all the tea from 90s Con Hartford. Good morning from the living room, ladies. Good to see you.
Good morning.
It's like a choir. All right. So if you had to describe 90s Con in one word, how would you describe it? Danielle, I'll let you go first.
Epic.
Epic. Nice. All right, girls, what about you, Nina?
Fun. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Leah. We'll go youngest to oldest. Leah, you're first.
Fun.
Fun. All right, Jazzy.
Exciting.
Nice. Marjean.
Chaotic.
Chaotic. That too. Thank you for your honesty. All right, and Nina.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Love it. Love it. We had a really good time. I feel like the 90s Con took place at the Connecticut Convention Center in Hartford, Connecticut, and it was put on by That's For Entertainment, which they do such a great job. And it's easy, I think, to go to a big event like that and come away going, "Oh my God, I wish this was different or this was different." But I think with something like that, with so many people involved, everybody does the best they can do in the moment. And so it's a lot sometimes for those of us who may not handle large crowds very well. But I feel like I'm so glad that you came on a Sunday, because I feel like this Sunday is more mild than other days for sure. So there were several different people there, and I guess we'll start off with the people that we met. And if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. Let us know what you would ask about 90s Con, and we'll try to answer. It was funny because when I mentioned about hugs, Teresa said, who gave the best hugs? We hugged a lot of celebrities or even just hugged on to during the photos and stuff as well. Is there anybody that sticks out in y'all's mind about who gave the best hug?
You go first.
I didn't hug anybody. So
You did not get anybody. Okay, for those of you that did give hugs, who gave the best hug?
Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich.
Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich. Okay.
They had very like protective feeling hugs.
Aw,
That's so nice.
sweet.
Yeah, I did not let go of Skeet. We hugged like 8 times.
Oh,
Yeah, it was interesting because there was a couple instances where I went up to somebody's table, and one of those examples was Gabrielle Carteris, who played Andrea in Beverly Hills 90210. And we had a whole moment. I was telling her a story at her table, and for those of you that have never been to a con before, basically they have their table set up, and you can go up and get autographs and selfies, and that outside of the panel and professional photo ops, those are not instances where you can really like talk one-on-one with them, but at their tables you can do that. And I went in to share about a personal story with and Gabrielle, and just about how her character kind of intersected with my life at the time. And I was, telling her about what had happened in my life. And she reached across the table and grabbed my hands as I was telling this story. And so it was just such a beautiful moment. And she talked about, how much it meant to her that people had been able to relate to her character in that way. And so I was fine while I was up there. And then as I walked away, like we would walk away from the tables and we would take a minute to put our autographs in our binders, which I'll show you guys in a moment. I lost it at that point. And then I'm like crying. I was fine at the table, and then not so much. Marjean, when she met Skeet Ulrich, could not wait. Like it just came out, and he was, I guess he was asking you, right, Marjean, if you were okay.
Yeah.
oh.
It was very cute. So hugs, Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich. Did you have a favorite hug, Danielle, or moment with a celebrity?
Yeah, I think when we did the professional pictures with Saved by the Bell, and I was standing with Mario, he really did like squeeze me a little and like got real close, and I was like, okay. It was like a side hug, but I was like, I could smell his cologne. Like, I was like, okay. It was nice. And he was the one I wanted to see the most. So yeah, it was nice.
Yeah. Teresa said, I always cry at events and things. You can't take me anywhere. I had a few moments. I really did. I was pretty good the majority of the time, but there was a couple of those moments that were so important to me that it's just, and she said, a Mario squeeze. That's what we're going to call it. The Mario squeeze. But yeah, I think there was a couple of those moments where, for me, I sort of associate those people with different times in my life. And that was really emotional for me. Like to think about when I first saw them in this episode, this was happening in my life. And then it all kind of comes back. It's like this flood of memories. So Jazzlyn and Leah, there really isn't a whole lot of younger, like super young people there. There's a good bit, but not a whole lot. What was the experience like for you two? Because you didn't necessarily know every single celebrity that was there.
I knew a good amount of people, just like I only got to see 4. It was fun though.
Yeah.
I didn't really like the crowd.
Yeah, didn't like the.
Never got tired of walking.
Did you like what did you guys think of the photo op area where we had like the payphone and the lockers, things some of you guys haven't even seen and never seen in person before?
It was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. What did you know how to dial that rotary phone, Leah?
Yes.
You knew how to dial it. Did you have you seen that somewhere, or did you just like instinctively know how to put your finger in the hole and dial the phone?
I've seen it.
You've seen it somewhere? Well, that's good to know that that's not lost completely. I love it. Yes, everybody's talking about Danielle's Mario's, please. It's gonna be a thing now. So we did have they had a lot of great merch at 90s Con this year. You guys know, a lot of you guys have saw my bear that I got from last year that I keep next to my desk that has the
So
90s
cute.
Con logo on it. And then this year, I have to start by showing the tickets. I thought they were so cute. So cute. You guys can see here. But they look like the old, notebooks that we used to take notes in school. And so love that. And then we always get the lanyard because it's a pain to keep pulling it out of your wallet. So you might as well keep it around your neck. But they had some other really cute things like this varsity jacket, which my husband and I each got one. Because why not? Because I don't know. I thought they were so cute. And they also have these trapper keeper looking binders that you can put all of your photos in, that you get your autographs and stuff from the celebrities. We got one last year, and see, they come with this foam piece in it to keep it from getting ruined. And for some reason, my one last year, I have no idea where that foam piece went, but I have ended up having two now. But we have all the amazing photos that we got with the autographs to put inside the book. My kids picked some good ones. Like this is Will Friedle from Boy Meets World. But he was in costume during this episode, so he basically looks like a hitchhiker. That's what's happening over here. But they're all, and then here, speaking of Mario, here we go with Mario. Love that. Everybody needs a fan now. But we have
Don't say fan. Don't say fan. No.
It's gonna turn back on to you guys. I love this, and really excited because we did get to take some great photo ops, including this one here that we took with Danielle and Miguel. And there's me and my husband and Mark Paul Gosselaar, Elizabeth Berkley, and Mario Lopez from Saved by the Bell. Did you guys have other than the hugs, did you guys have like a specific moment from 90s Con that you're like, this is something I'm not going to ever forget? Like best moment. Hold on.
Conversation with Skeet for sure.
Okay. So Marjean said the whole conversation with Skeet.
When the Matthew Willard photo,
the one with the mystery machine. That was very cool. Yes, they had the Scooby-Doo mystery machine there, which was awesome. All right, Nina.
The duo photo op with Matthew and Skeet we did the hearts.
Yeah, they did. So they went in and they did the heart hands together. It was very cute. Nina and Marjean, Matthew Lillard, and Skeet Ulrich, which by the way, for anybody that doesn't know, they were there with the Scream group. They had a lot of the OG Scream people there from the films, and I think the only really sad part about that is that Neve Campbell ended up canceling, so she was not there. And then Jazzlyn, what about you? Favorite moment?
I would have to say when I was talking to Will.
Nice.
Because he's just so nice, and I was like, really, he's really kind.
And you guys, so you got to see all three people that you wanted. Jazzlyn's a big fan of Boy Meets World. She literally binge watched it the week before 90s Con. And so you got to meet Ryder Strong, who plays
Sean.
And then Will Friedle, who plays
Eric.
And then Matthew Lawrence, who plays
Jack.
Nice. And he was in some of the later ones. So that was fun for you. Nina's number one was for sure Matthew Lillard, and got several pictures with him and autograph, and really went through a whole thing waiting in line for Matthew on Saturday. It was because this is what happens at these things when a celebrity's plane is late or schedule gets changed, it shifts the whole weekend. So Saturday was completely nuts because Matthew's flight was delayed on Friday night. And so there was so much like makeup that needed to be done on Saturday that it was just complete mayhem, but we're glad that it finally it finally happened. Danielle, favorite moment for you?
Well, other than the Mario squeeze,
Yeah.
I'd have to say Mark Paul from Saved by the Bell, Zach. I seen him first because we went in that line first, and he was just so nice, so down to earth, so personable. Like, I mean, every time I got to meet any of them, I literally shut down. I couldn't really speak. I basically only said hi and thank you. It was very difficult for me. I wasn't emotional. I just kind of shut down.
Yeah.
And like the nerves took over, and Shy Danielle came out because I just shut down. But he was so nice. He was so sweet. Him and my husband were conversating, and he just seemed, listen, they're all regular people. We know that. But he just really made you feel like he didn't think he was better than anybody kind of thing. Like some stars give off that vibe. He was very down to earth, very nice.
So, girls, I'm going to let you guys go in just a minute to get on about your day down below here. But anything that you want to share, do you have any wishes for who you hope comes back next year? Or it comes back or comes for the first time?
Scream again for sure.
Matthew
Scream
Willard
again.
again.
That's a tough question. Because they're so like, Jazzy, what do you think?
I would love to see Step by Step come back again. They were there year before, or last year was when they were there, and we only ended up getting to see Jason Marsden and Stacey Keenan. But it's one of those things where you just kind of walk away, and you got to be good with what you got because you can only get so much during that weekend. It's just craziness.
I think for me, it would be the cast of Full House or Jason Marsden.
Yeah, it was sad Jason Marsden didn't come back last year because he's been in so many things, Step by Step, Full House. He was the voice in a lot of the Goofy movies. Like, he has a huge work list that he's been a part of. And so I was sad he didn't come back this year because he was one of my favorites from last year for sure. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining us this morning. Danielle and I are going to continue the party after this next break. And thank you, ladies, for coming on and sharing your experience this morning.
Bye, girls.
All right, we'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Bye.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm Jessica Dugas. This is Danielle Valero, and we have been talking about all the fun we had at 90's Con Hartford, which took place at the Connecticut Convention Center, March 28th, 29th, and 30th. I'm still recovering. I'm going to be honest with you. Like,
I bet you are.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And I think that there's many reasons for that. One, I already am not a huge crowd person. But you know, like I shared with people, it's kind of like a trade-off. You can sit there and you can watch your life pass you by, even though certain things are really hard, or you can go, I'm going to do this. It's going to be hard. There's going to be some recovery time that happens, but I'm just going to do it and I'm going to have fun. And so that's where I'm at when people message and they're like, you know, it looks like everything's perfect for you now. I just want to laugh because I'm like, I'm living my best life. I'm doing what I can in the moment. What was because you deal with anxiety and things like that too. Like, what was that part of it like for you at 90s Con? Like, how did you sort of manage that?
Yeah, I'm super sensitive to everything around me. I get overstimulated very easily. So crowds, noise, all that stuff it's hard. But Jessica is the one that had the conversation with me. She really talked me into going and I'm so happy I went. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how happy I am I went. But I was very hesitant because I'm like, I don't think so. It's too many people, too crowded for me, too much, But Sunday was actually, it was fine. I actually can't believe how fine it was. And everybody was so nice.
Yeah.
We'd be standing in line waiting and you didn't get bored. You didn't stand there and think about it because you're conversating with even strangers. Like we
Right.
met strangers and we're having full conversations and taking pictures with them.
I'm
And
trying.
I don't do that ever.
I know.
This was new for me.
Right. That's what's really fun about that environment, though, is because
Yeah.
I feel like with any of the cons, the bottom line is that things like that are really expensive. It's not
Yes.
it's not cheap.
No.
Because you got to think about, one, if you're coming from out of the area, you've got to get a
Yeah.
hotel. If you're in the
Mhm.
area, or even with it, like with us, we were 45 minutes away. We drove each day, and so that's a lot of gas. Then you
Mhm.
have food. You have,
Yes.
if you want to get any merch, it costs you
Yes.
for the ticket to begin with, but then on top of that, you're paying for your photos, your photo ops, your autographs, all of these things individually. So it
Yeah.
is very expensive. But because of that, I almost feel like that's a good thing, because people are not going to come there that are not huge fans. Like,
Right.
they're just not going to do it. And so it was really great because, like you said, everybody that you meet in line is just as excited as you. And so you're having all of these conversations, you're
Yeah.
meeting new people. And we had so much fun in the line for for the Saved by the Bell photo op. And I
We
laughed so
did.
hard at this because there was a woman, there was a couple behind us and their daughter who had,
Yeah.
they strike me as people who go to a lot of different cons, not just
Yes.
90 Con.
Yes.
But they were talking about, I'm trying to find this photo as I'm talking, so I apologize, you guys. But they were talking about how they had met Ian Somerhalder from Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
And Vampire Diaries is Marjean's like number one favorite show. That's like, she has rewatched Vampire Diaries, I think, more than I've rewatched 90210, which is saying something. So
Oh, wow.
so she loves that show. Ian Somerhalder and Paul Wesley, she's gaga for. And so they happened to be talking about him. And I said, let me see this picture. I'm still trying to, guys, I have so many photos. It's disgusting. So we're in the line. Oh, here it is. And we're talking to her about it. And I said, I need to be 1 degree of separation closer to Ian than my daughter is. Let me see that picture. So she brought up the picture on her phone, and we took a picture with her with Ian Somerhalder. So now I am officially, because I was talking to her, we are 1 degree separation closer to Ian than Marjean is. So we can go brag about that now. But we were just having fun. I think you're right that there's not really any boredom. And one thing I will say that they do really well, even on Saturday, which was when I had a really anxious moment, was on Saturday. It was a lot for me.
Mhm.
But I feel like they do a good job of leaving open spaces.
Yes.
So
Yes.
there was a couple times when I would go and sit along the wall with just plop on the floor, sit along the wall with my girls or something like that. And it's off to the side. There's people walking by, yes, but nobody's like, it's not butt to butt.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
It's
not
not
all
like when you go to a
pressed down.
concert and everybody's
Right.
on top of each other.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of open space. There was
Yep.
chairs available for me to sit during some of the lines that were a little bit insane.
Yep.
And then we we bought those little pop-up chairs, which I'm
Oh,
so
those,
glad.
yeah.
We did not buy those last year, but I'm so glad we got them this year because they'll come in handy for like any long line type things where you gotta be there forever. Because the body's not what it once was.
I mean,
We're doing our best. We're doing our best over here. So how do you I know you said everybody was nice and stuff like that.
mhm.
Like, did you come away with any regrets, or do you feel good about how the day went for you?
I feel good how it went. I don't know if it's a regret, but I wish that I interacted more with them. Because I did shut down and I kind of got like real shy and like I couldn't form words. I
Yeah.
was like, my mind went, I had like things that I wanted to ask or things I wanted to say. And when I got up there, it all went out of my head and I got nervous. But I mean, I think that's the only thing is like, or maybe I would have tried to get in other lines because there was a couple of people that I probably wanted to see, but I didn't go in the line because I was trying to, like you said, everything's really expensive. And I was trying to save a bulk of my money that we had came with for certain people.
Right.
So then I didn't really get to interact with other people that maybe were lower on my list, but I would have liked to have interacted with.
Right.
Because I mean, I would have spent way too much money there.
Believe me.
Listen, as much as I like to meet you, I like to hold on to my cash too. So
Right. Well, and I will
Yeah.
say this. So there's no reason that you can't just get in a line and go up and talk to somebody. They don't force you to get us to buy something. So you can just go talk to people. But I think the challenge with that is that for some of these people, you do wait a really long time. Brian
Yeah.
Austin Green, we waited in the line well over an hour. Like
Wow.
well over an hour for Brian
Wow, I'm
Austin
not
Green.
that popular.
And so for me, it's like if I'm gonna wait that long, I want to come away with something more than a conversation. You know what I mean? So it's like
Right.
because you got to think about the time you're spending on it too. I think that's important. My goal, what I knew we were gonna do the full 90210 photo with them, my husband and I, on Saturday. I knew we were going to do that, but my goal was to get to every one of their tables because I really just that was my number one for the weekend.
Mhm.
The challenge is that the lines for them, like I said, were extremely long. I think we got really lucky. We caught Gabrielle right before she was going to lunch the first day. And so we didn't wait very long for her at all. But like I said, Brian Austin Green, we waited a really long time. Really long time. The
Wow.
last day we were able to see Jason Priestley, who is super nice. If you guys are on my Facebook, he's my profile photo right now. He has the most crystal blue eyes I've ever seen in my life. It's like
Wow.
it's like I don't know if he's got contacts in or what the deal is, but I've never seen eyes that color before. My husband's are really light blue in that way, but Jason's are like crystal. I don't. It's the weirdest thing. Anyway, he's a gorgeous man. But aside from that, so we got to see him. We didn't have to. My husband waited a little while for him, and then I came up and met him because I was having lunch off somewhere. And so we did get to see him, but I didn't get to meet Tori, Jenny Garth, or Ian Ziering, which I really wanted to do as well. Those were three, but I got three out of six of the people. But it makes me sad that I didn't go up there, especially since Jenny Garth and I have a mutual connection. Craig Siegel, who has the CLS Experience podcast, was on my show, and he recently had Jenny Garth on his show. So we have a mutual connection, and I wanted to tell her about that. So that was a little bit sad for me. But the positive thing about all of this was that last year my priority was meeting the cast of Hey Dude. So I got the photo op with all of them. But again, you don't get to talk to them during the photo ops. And
True,
so if you
yeah.
want to have a conversation, you've got to go to their tables. And
Yeah.
I went to Josh Teagle. I went to Kelly Brown, and as soon as I was done with Kelly, Christine Taylor was next to her, and David Lasher was next to her. I go to walk towards Christine table, and her and David Lasher left for the weekend. So I was like, I was so sad last year, but Christine Taylor came back this year for the craft. And so I was able to meet her and get to tell her, which this just tickled me. I can't even tell you. There's an episode of Hey Dude where Christine's played Melody. Melody's best friend comes to visit her at the Dude Ranch. And their relationship has changed. Their friendship is really different. And as I was rewatching that with Jazzlyn, I said to myself, you know, it's interesting. Nobody really talks about friendship in adulthood. And so that is the initial spark that made the friendship paradox happen.
Wow.
And so I got to tell her that, and she's going to watch the film now. So it's very exciting.
That's awesome.
And so, I mean, to think that her and maybe even because they're married, a certain other person that they're married to might watch it too. I don't know. It's very, very interesting. But I do hope that she enjoys it because it was that episode that sparked the whole thing for me in the beginning. So very fun that I got to close out that chapter from last year. And that's why I say that this is going to become a tradition for me because I want to continue this. I like being with the kids. It was added a whole nother level having you guys there this year because you and I have known each other since that time.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. Did you have any of those little photo ops that were favorites for you?
Yeah, when we all did the photo op with Saved by the Bell.
Oh, with Saved by the Bell, yeah.
Yeah.
that
was nice. I like that.
I loved the little box that we got in. If you guys didn't see that photo, you need to go. On Instagram, by the way, you guys.
Whatever.
On Instagram, there's a highlight reel that says 90's Con. It has all of my photos from last year and all the stuff that I shared from this year. So you guys can check that out. It comes underneath right there, 90's Con. But you can check out that. And there's a photo of Danielle and I in this box. It looks like a Funko Pop box is what it looks like. And I was like, ooh, let's do like loser and whatever. And Danielle was like, I'll take whatever because
I said it so much when I was younger, I drove everybody crazy. Whatever.
So we got in the box and we were like, and so it was great. It was great. Yes. So that was fun. And they had a slime. You could be slimed like they did on Nickelodeon.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, we both passed on that. They had the mystery machine. They had the big orange couch from Nickelodeon. And they had a lot of really great vendors. Couple that I visited, which I'm gonna show you guys the earrings that I got from Night Owl Designs on Monday show because they're in my drawer. But I got these little earrings that look like the cover to the movie 13 Ghosts that has Matthew Lillard in it, which is my favorite. And so I got those earrings from them. Night Owl Designs was also there last year. So it was really nice to have them there again. And very excited. They are going to be coming on Project Joy episode with me here in an episode coming up. And we'll get to talk about all the nostalgic earrings and buttons and things that they make in their business. And I also met a really amazing artist named Jay, who I've also invited to come on the show, but he makes a lot of comic style art and things like that. And he had this great poster that was such a nice Nickelodeon throwback. I wanted to show you guys, and I'm going to be making a whole other fun background for me here, but I thought this was so great to put as a part of the background. You guys remember Snick? So we had TGIF that happened what was it, NBC or
Friday nights?
was it on ABC? I can't remember what network it was on, but anyway, so we had TGIF, which is not, I don't know if you guys know this, but it does not stand for Thank God It's Friday. It stands for Thank God It's Funny. Did you guys know that? Yep.
No. Thought it was Friday.
Fun fact. Well, I mean, you would think, but because it came on Fridays, but it actually stood for Thank God It's Funny, which I didn't know that. But then we had Saturday Night on Nick, which is Snick. Clarissa Explains It All. I watched. I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark was one of my favorites. And then we had Keenan and Kel, which the girls got to meet Kel as Ed from Good Burger, which was super fun as well. But this is a huge thank you to Jay for creating this art. And this poster is going to go in my 90s background that I'm working on for when we do our 90s shows. But you can find, I think it's Jay McQuirns. MCQUIRNS. I'm going to put it down in the show notes after the show so you guys will be able to find it. But go check him out on social media because he's got some really great art. Just a lot of fun throwbacks where he sort of takes the different characters and the different logos and stuff for your favorite 90s things and makes like this really cool Technicolor sort of art out of it. And so love that. And thank you so much, Jay, for your kindness and for dealing with my youngest daughter's haggling at your table.
Oh, she was good.
She's always trying. Listen, Leah tries so hard. She really does. But okay, so this is probably going to be a little bit deeper question, but did you have any breakthrough moments? Because this is the Breakthrough Show Network. So did you have any breakthrough moments on your day?
I don't know if I necessarily had a breakthrough moment, but I do remember a moment where I was just so grateful that I was there and that I got to experience that. And I was saying to my husband, we have to come back again next year. Obviously, we're going to do Sunday again.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this was great. Like, it wasn't crazy. I felt like we had lots of space to move around. If you didn't want to be next to people, you really didn't have to be. And it was just such an amazing experience. And I also was like, everybody was so nice. I had no negative energy whatsoever. Like, I felt very calm, at ease, and just happy. I was just happy the whole time. Yeah. Usually I have a point where I get like snippy and like aggravated. And I'm like, I need to leave. Like, I've had enough. And that didn't happen. I could have stayed there longer, but Miguel was like, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so shout out to our hubbies because my husband had a few moments that he really enjoyed as well, but he does this because he knows I'm such a 90s girl. I really am. And I think it would be super fun to do an 80s one. I wish they would try to do that. And then pretty soon we're going to be far enough along to do an a first 2000s decade.
Because that was an interesting time.
Right.
I mean, we were like in our early 20s then, like very early 20s. That was an interesting time.
Yeah, I think that would be fun too. My big breakthrough, I actually did have a pretty big breakthrough. And I share this all the time where, the Breakthrough Show and the Breakthrough Show Network has always been a passion project for me. It's something that I really just love to do, but there are moments where, and I've told you guys this before, where I still question myself and I'm like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I on the right path? And contrary to Danielle's experience when she would go up to celebrities, I went into like interview mode. I don't know. And it wasn't even intentional. It was like, I would go up there and just be like, hi, Mark. It's so nice to meet you. I'm like, I
wish
you're so great in your new series Found. Do you enjoy that role as opposed to, a more bubblegum pop role like Zach Morris, and so I would and we would have these whole conversations about,
awesome.
I'm just and even though it was just for me, you can't really record while you're at the tables like
No,
that.
of course.
It was such a thing. And then when we would go to the panels, and you'd have the moderator on the panel asking questions, I would be like on the edge of my seat. I don't know if you saw me I'm like on the edge of my seat, like, put me in, coach, I got this. Like, I just want to be the one to do it. And so it really sort of solidified that for me, that's the arena that I'm wanting to be in, is having these kinds of conversations. And so it birthed an idea for me that actually has been in the back of my mind for quite some time, but I could never really place it as, how am I going to make this come to life? And I think it may come to life now. So I just will leave you with that. I will leave you with that. But I think it's going to be really good. And this is my thing. I enjoy it. We had a lot of fun, and it's so nice to get to a place where you're enjoying the work that you're doing, but it doesn't really feel like work. It's just like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's it.
Oh,
it's
that's
fun.
awesome.
It's fun. So that was my own breakthrough moment. I know a lot of you guys have been commenting. Thank you so much for all the comments. Sharon, it's good to see you today. Maybe I could see, that was my intention if I got to her table, Trista, but I did not get up there. We actually tried. Jenny Garth had left early, and then we tried to get in both Tori and Ian's lines on Sunday. It was right after Danielle left, but they were only taking volunteers, and then they were leaving as well. So we missed out on that. I'm so sad. I also missed out on the folks from Empire Records. And that was one I didn't get to see. But another one I do have to point out really quickly before we go today is Raleigh D. Lewis, who was in Cool Runnings. So I met Dougie Doug and Raleigh D. Lewis, both really fantastic. And I got to tell them about how my brother and I absolutely wore out that VHS. Like, we used to watch it all the time. And I had told both of them that, my brother had passed away 15 years ago, and Raleigh asked what his name was. And he just took a moment and he looked up and he said, "Thanks, Adam." And it was just like, it was like, he didn't have to do that, like he didn't have to do that. It didn't have to mean anything to him. And I'm getting emotional, but it did. And so I'm just really thankful. So thank you, Raleigh. Thank you, Dougie Doug, for your kindness. And as I was sharing that story, it was really, really meaningful to me. And so those were some of my favorite moments. Good things. We got to quickly do birthdays and then we can head out. So we're going to take this quick break and come back with birthdays. I think we're taking a quick break. What are we doing here? I don't know. I have no idea what's happening. What's happening today. Here's Dorothy's. I know, we're crying over here. We'll be right back after this.
I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. I shall stand for love, for the world is wounded, not just my little piece of land, where I am mostly safe, where I am mostly well, but our world, everywhere, every day. I shall stand for love, because we need more light, not more death, not more power, not more bombs. I shall stand for love, so that our children are safe, so that our friends are sheltered, so that our borders are open. I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. That was a For Love poem by Dorothy Auger, which was great, just to add to the tears we were already having. Well, as we've talked about last week, it's all joy. All the things that we're feeling and experiencing in this life are joy. And it's time to do birthdays, because that brings me a lot of joy too. Here we go.
Happy birthday to you.
All right. In the world of celebrities this morning, Robert Downey Jr. is the big 6-0 today. Big 6-0, Robert Downey Jr. You
Love
said that he's one of
him.
your favorite actors. What's your
Yes.
favorite that he's been in?
Oh, God, you put me on Jumanji.
Oh, I'm putting you on the spot.
Not Jumanji. What am I thinking? Hold on. You know my mind blanks out. I can't
I know. Okay,
answer questions on the spot.
He's really great and wonderful.
Dr.
And happy
Dolittle.
birthday,
There we
Dr.
go.
Dolittle. There we go. Oh,
There we
that's a
go.
good one, too.
Had to think of something.
Actor Heath Ledger, who passed away, had a birthday today as well.
Love him.
Love him in so many things
Yes.
as well. Poet Maya Angelou, who passed away in 2014, had a birthday as well today. Happy birthday, Maya. Performer Tadrick Hall, who the song Nails, Hair, Hips, Heels brings me more joy than I can express. Have you heard that song?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna send it to you after, and you will just have a better day.
Okay.
Cracks me up. Tadrick Hall is the big 4-0 today. Lordy, look, he's 40. David, I can say that now because I'm 44. Okay, so magician David Blaine is 52 years old today. Happy birthday.
Okay.
Actress Natasha Lyonne, you might recognize her from Orange is the New Black, among other things.
Yes.
46 years old today. Singer Jill Scott is 53 years old today. And actor Craig T. Nelson is 81 today, and he was from the show Coach. Do you guys remember this show? Comment down below and let me know, because Danielle didn't really remember, but I feel like it's one of these shows where I feel like my grandfather really liked it. I feel like it wasn't necessarily a kid show. It was more like a family, possibly parent show in the 90s. But it was a really good show nonetheless. To continue the throwback, the celebrities in my life, one of the girls we went to school with growing up, Rachel Fields, has a birthday today.
Happy birthday, Rachel.
Happy birthday, Rachel. Also, Terrain LeBeau, who is a Breakthrough alum, has a birthday today. Happy birthday, Terrain. Also, yesterday, another grown man now, but David Platt that I went to school with. See, I'm still living back then, you guys. This is why I'm saying. This is why I'm saying. Lots of birthdays happening, and a couple tomorrow as well. One of my old school friends, Erica, has a birthday tomorrow, as well as our own Breakthrough Show Network host of Spirit Sessions, Rhonda Elliott, has a birthday tomorrow. Ooh. Happy birthday, Miss Rhonda. So all of that said, let's get our birthday song on. Here we go. I'm using first names only today, you guys, because I'm out of breath. It's just done. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Robert, Heath, Maya, Tadrick, David, Natasha, Jill, Craig, Rachel, David, and Rhonda, and Erica. Happy birthday to you. There's nothing quite that gives you energy like that song does. I make you feel in some kind of way.
It really does.
It's that Muppet energy. I love it. Listen, we're literally starting right now. We have virtual co-working happening today. So go head over to the breakthroughshownetwork.club and join us in our collaborative co-working space. We also have Soul Saturday Morning Coffee starting tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and on Sunday, an all-new episode of Spirit Sessions, A View of the Light. And I'm very excited that Sunday night, my husband and I get to see Heather Shaw at Comics. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that comedian, but she is the comedian that is said to look exactly like Jim Carrey. I know
who she is.
Yes.
I follow her on TikTok, and
I know. She's such a riot.
she's hilarious.
Yes. So we're going to see her on Sunday night at Comics at Mohegan Sun.
Nice.
And so I'll be reporting back to you guys on that on Monday. And we'll be seeing Danielle for another fun Friday at the end of the month. Thank you, Danielle, for being here today. I appreciate you, my friend.
Absolutely. I love it. Anytime.
And we want to remind you guys that you are the joy, and also be nostalgic every now and then because it's fun. Pick up a rotary phone.
Feels good.
Take care of your Tamagotchi. Put a scrunchie in your hair and have a good time. Okay. If you want to go way back, put on some bell bottoms or something, and that'll be fun as well. I'm Jessica Dugas. This is Danielle Valero, and we will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
After the world swallowed me up and